3 years after breaking up with my ex-girlfriend, I unexpectedly received an invitation to her daughter's 1-month celebration. As I looked at the gold-embossed invitation my agent handed me, my heart couldn't help but flutter. In the end, all the bitterness in my chest melted into a single sentence: send a $2,000 cash gift on my behalf. That night, the hashtag about the Oscar-winning couple having a daughter shot to the top of the trending list, and even Chloe Vance, who rarely showed her face, publicly started a rare live stream. When a fan in the live comments asked her how it felt to win her first award versus becoming a mother for the first time, she smiled and reached for the award trophy, but her hand slipped and she accidentally shattered it. The ring that had been hidden inside it for 3 years rolled out. She froze, held her breath as she approached, and carefully pulled a slip of white paper from the base. "I've prepared everything for the wedding. Let's get married." I never would have imagined that the surprise I never got to reveal would be exposed to the world in such an absurd way 3 years later. The live chat instantly blew up. Everyone started speculating about who wrote the note. "Oh my God, that's so romantic. Are the Oscar winners living out a romance movie in their married life?" You're missing the point. That's obviously not it. If I remember correctly, Chloe was still dating Ethan Reed back then. So Ethan Reed was ready to marry her when they broke up, but things were so ugly between them, he never said anything. This is just heartbreaking for everyone. On camera, Chloe Vance stood frozen for a long time until Alex Cole shouted from the next room, "Honey, our daughter won't stop crying. Come and soothe her." She snapped out of it as if waking from a dream, stumbled over to the camera, and hurriedly ended the stream. Countless curious onlookers hungry for more drama flooded my social media comments, asking if it was me. Some users even dug up more details of our past interactions, and fans who still harbored unresolved feelings about our breakup fanned the flames of discussion, posting edited clips of our sweet moments from variety shows under the trending topic. But whether it was me or not, what did it matter anymore? After all, dwelling on the sweet moments of a dead relationship is the most painful kind of nostalgia. When I first started dating Chloe Vance, I was already an Emmy-winning actor while she was just an unknown extra. I admired her talent and was willing to use all my industry connections to help her. The day she was nominated for a Golden Globe, I finally nailed down all the details for our wedding. Before the award show was set to present her with the trophy, I begged the producers to let me have it first. I carefully pried open the base of the trophy and, full of anticipation, hid the ring and the note inside, imagining her surprised expression upon discovering it. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it would leap out of my chest. But I waited until midnight, only to see her coming home drunk, supported by Alex Cole. It was the first time she had ever brought another man home. My emotions swung wildly between high hopes and crushing disappointment, anger and a sense of betrayal nearly tearing me apart, making my voice tremble as I asked her why. But she just rubbed her throbbing temples, her voice laced with exhaustion. "Whatever you say, let's break up." I didn't answer, just went back to studying the script for my next project. Later, when I turned off the lights to go to sleep, my phone chimed with a notification from her. My heart fluttered for no reason, and my fingertips trembled as I opened iMessage. "Are you there? Were you going to propose to me?" After 3 years, this was the first message she had sent me. The last message from her before this read, "Please stop bothering me." But now, who was bothering whom? The buzz around Chloe Vance and me grew more intense. It forced Alex Cole to go live as well. On camera, he flashed a bright smile. "I wrote that note. Sorry to keep you all guessing for so long. It was just a little romantic game between my wife and me. Chloe loves me very much and I love her. We're very happy now." Users flooded the chat with, "I'm so jealous. He's truly the man our Chloe was willing to pay millions in contract termination fees to marry." Who could forget that wedding of the century? My ship is sailing forever. Wait, am I the only one who thinks that doesn't look like his handwriting? The comments on the screen scrolled faster, a sea of congratulations that quickly buried the dissenting one. Alex Cole straightened his hair. "I also have some good news to share. My time at home helping my wife with the baby is over, and I'm making my comeback. My new movie starts filming tomorrow." I paused, a sudden sense of foreboding creeping into my heart, and when I arrived on set the next day, that unease was confirmed. Alex Cole was warmly greeting the crew with Chloe Vance standing right behind him. How nice, a handsome man and a beautiful woman. They looked perfect together. I found an empty corner to sit down just as my best friend Mark sent me a message asking how the first day on the job was going. It was only then that I belatedly realized I hadn't worked in 3 years. When Chloe and I broke up, I was devastated and had no will to work. Back then, I was like a man possessed, staking out her usual spots every day just hoping for a glimpse of her. I made endless excuses for her in my mind. Maybe he just happened to give her a ride home. Maybe I had misunderstood. The wedding dress arrived from the boutique. The hotel we'd booked 6 months in advance notified me our date was confirmed. Even the makeup artist sent me several private messages asking if the wedding was still on. I was frantic, but I waited in the freezing wind until I was numb only to see her walk past me hand in hand with Alex Cole, a flicker of surprise in her eyes when she saw me. I ignored the look of disdain on her face and rushed towards her. All the pain I'd been holding in for days surging up the moment I saw her, my eyes welling up before I could even speak. Chloe, please don't break up with me. I have everything ready. All that's missing is... The impatience in her eyes was so clear. Can you not be like this? She clutched Alex's hand tightly. I'm in love with Alex now. I stared at her in disbelief, my heart feeling as if it were being squeezed by an invisible hand, the pain so intense I could barely breathe. The words, "You were caught," in my throat. After that, we began a long and public war of words. I exposed her cheating online, but seeing the public backlash against her brought me no joy. I masochistically scrolled through their social media posts night after night, the feelings of resentment and betrayal gnawing at me like a relentless parasite. Eventually, Alex Cole joined the public feud. I was so consumed with venting my hatred for them online, thinking that my public judgment from the moral high ground was a form of revenge. I didn't realize they had already teamed up to cut off all my professional opportunities. They were getting their revenge on me too. Suddenly, I was hit with massive contract penalties, was replaced as the lead in my projects, and was buried under an avalanche of online slander and hate. I fell into a deep depression, and after 3 long, dark years of treatment, I emerged as a different person, a person covered in scars. Mark always comforted me saying things would get better. With his encouragement, I considered trying to rebuild my career, but 3 years later, I found to my despair that there was no place left for me in Hollywood. This current acting gig was a favor Mark pulled for me. I cherished it even if it was just a supporting role. I raised my phone and texted him back. "It's going well. I'll do my best." He replied almost immediately. "If you're not happy there, just tell me. We can walk away from it." A weak smile touched my lips. 3 years had worn away all my old pride and arrogance. I was no longer the influential Ethan Reed I once was, and I had no leverage to say no. I put my phone down just as I heard the director call my name. "Ethan Reed, get ready. You're up first." I scrambled to my feet and met Chloe's gaze from across the room. The moment our eyes met, an unexpected ripple went through my heart. A heavy silence hung in the air. Alex Cole was the first to speak, calling out to me. Well, if it isn't Ethan Reed playing the third male lead, are we?" He sneered. "Director Miller, you're quite bold with your casting, using a former Emmy winner for a supporting role." The director, as if suddenly realizing something, immediately began to apologize profusely. "Oh, he's just someone a friend squeezed in, Mr. Cole. If his presence makes you uncomfortable, I'll have him leave right away." I watched the director's fawning display and quietly lowered my gaze. Alex Cole looked at me and snorted in derision. "He's just a washed-up actor. What trouble could he possibly cause? I could crush him with my little finger." "What do you think, honey?" Chloe just raised an eyebrow. "An insignificant nobody, it doesn't matter." He put a hand on her waist, giving it a squeeze, and whispered something in her ear. Her ears quickly turned red, and she playfully slapped his shoulder, smiling as she said, "You're terrible. Wait until we get home," and I just watched their public display of affection, feeling nothing at all. It didn't matter. Alex Cole shot me a casual, condescending glance and beckoned me over. I brought expensive delicacies for the whole crew. "Ethan, go get some for yourself. I'm sure it's not something you can usually afford." I didn't go, nor was I easily provoked. During my time in treatment, I had learned how to control my emotions. I had taken my medication before coming to the set. I ignored him and walked straight to the soundstage. After a quick word with the cinematographer, I slipped easily into character. I started acting when I was 15, and by 20, I was already a household name. Acting felt like it was etched into my very bones, something that came back to me smoothly and naturally with the slightest practice. Long after I had finished my emotional delivery, the director finally called cut. He muttered to himself. He nailed that long monologue in one take. The guy still got it. During the break, I hid in the stairwell, my hands trembling as I lit a cigarette. How could I even begin to describe how I felt? Hopeful, I supposed, that a life back in the spotlight was possible again. But also lost, because seeing the one person I never wanted to see again brought all the painful memories flooding back, and I couldn't shake them. The cherry of the cigarette glowed and faded, smoke swirling until it hazed over my vision. Just then, the door behind me creaked open. Thinking it was someone from the crew, I quickly stubbed out my cigarette. "Are we starting?" "Sorry, I'm coming out right now." But when I turned around, I saw Chloe. She frowned. "You smoke now?" I didn't answer. She took the cigarette from my fingers and put it out. "You shouldn't smoke." It was laughable. What right did she have to tell me what to do? I moved to walk past her, but she suddenly grabbed my arm from behind. "I messaged you last night. You didn't reply. Were you going to propose to me that night?" My heart felt like it had been seared. For years, I had dreamed of this, of her coming back to me. In my dreams, she would open the trophy in front of me, see the ring and the note, and burst into happy tears. And I would hand her the keys to the house in Malibu she'd always wanted and say, "I had it renovated for us as a surprise. My new home is just missing a woman to share it with. What do you say?" I'd drive her to the new house, and we would get married just like that. We'd have a daughter, one who looked just like her. But all of it would vanish the moment I woke up. She left, leaving me with nothing but a lifetime of what-ifs. But now I just looked at her calmly. "Yes." Her grip on my hand tightened, her voice trembling. "Why didn't you tell me? Were you not telling me just to get back at me?" I admit, at first, I didn't say anything because I wanted her to feel the same pain. I wanted her to know what it felt like to have her own actions come back to hurt her. I desperately wanted her to regret everything, spend the rest of her life repenting for what she did to me and to us. But now, I just felt empty. I pushed her hand away and said coldly, "It's over. I don't want to talk about it." Her eyes were red, her brow furrowed in pain. "If you had told me then, I would have." If I had told her, what would have happened? Would she have left Alex and committed to a life with me? Would we have gotten married? "If I had told you," she hesitated, and that subtle shift in her expression confirmed everything I needed to know. See, she never really wanted it. Around our second anniversary, I suddenly felt a strong desire to get married. I had brought it up gently, but she always said it wasn't the right time. She said she hadn't made a name for herself in the industry yet. She said, "You're already an Emmy winner. I want to feel like I deserve you." I understood her ambition and wanted to help her achieve her goals. She never knew the male lead in that award-winning film she starred in, the role that made her famous. I had to beg for that part for her. But it was on the set of that film that she and Alex first worked together and fell for each other. The public's obsession with their on-screen chemistry was so intense that even I got jealous. But she would still cuddle up to me and lie. "What are you thinking about? You're the only one for me." And I believed her without a second thought. "You could have just been honest with me. But instead, you used your incredible acting skills to deceive me again and again, letting me sink deeper into the illusion that you loved me. Then one day, you just ripped it all away and walked out of my life." I never thought I would be able to say those words so calmly. All those nights I spent wondering what I did wrong. All those moments I tore myself apart looking for answers. It all seemed to finally come to an end right then, and I felt a great weight lift off my shoulders. I canceled the hotel reservation later. I even went and watched the wedding that was scheduled after ours. It was a huge, beautiful ceremony, just like the one I had imagined for us. The house I bought for you, I sold it. The new owners are a very happy couple. The wedding I planned for you. The future I promised you. I delivered on all of it, and you tore it all apart. She looked at me in disbelief, her lips trembling, and it took her a moment to find her voice. "You're lying." She paced back and forth agitated. "Impossible. Alex told me he saw you getting into Olivia Chen's car late at night. Did you think no one would find out what you two were doing? You were probably planning your wedding with her, weren't you? If you're just saying this to get a rise out of me, I'm telling you, it won't work." I froze for a second, and then it all clicked. Everyone in the industry knew Olivia Chun had been pursuing me for years, but I never felt the same way. After I got with Chloe, I intentionally avoided all contact with Olivia to make Chloe feel secure. When I was trying to secure that lead role for Chloe and hitting dead ends everywhere, Olivia was the only one willing to help. My schedule was packed back then, and by the time I finished shooting it was late. Olivia had been waiting in her car for 5 hours. I only got in her car to ask for her help in getting Chloe the role, and this is the filth he twisted it into. I let out a bitter laugh. I took another hard look at the person in front of me. The woman who I once saw as flawless was in reality just this. I didn't want to say any more. There was no point. Then believe what you want. I pushed the door open to leave, but was met with the sight of Alex standing right there. Without a word, he swung his fist at my face. "What were you two doing in here, seducing my wife on my set?" He spat on the ground near me. "Get it through your head. She's a married woman. You're living like a dog, taking handout roles. What makes you think you can even compare to me?" The punch stunned me, and it took a moment before I could spit out a mouthful of blood. "She had a boyfriend 3 years ago. That didn't seem to stop you from stealing her, did it?" He knew he was in the wrong, and his face flushed with anger as he lunged at me again. But I kicked him hard twice. That one was for punching me, and that one was for the lies you spread. Alex was stunned, clutching his stomach and crying out, "You hit me. You actually dared to hit me." He looked at Chloe for help. "Chloe, he hit me." But Chloe seemed not to hear him. She just stared at me confused. "Lies? What are you talking about?" I looked up and gave her one last deep look. Was there any point in explaining? I didn't want to have anything to do with her ever again. But Alex, as if afraid of what I might say, suddenly yelled and got up, making a move to attack me again. The noise from the stairwell drew the attention of the entire film crew. Director Miller rushed in and shoved me to the ground. "Mr. Cole, are you all right? Someone help him up. What are you all standing around for?" He shot me a venomous glare. "You're done here. Pack your things and get out now." I sighed. Back when I was on top, Director Miller would practically beg me to be in his films. Now that I was down, he couldn't wait to throw me under the bus for Alex's sake. How can people be so fickle? Luckily, my 3 years in exile had taught me everything I needed to know about the nature of people. The only person I felt bad for was Mark. But after all this, there was no point in staying. I stood before him and said in a raspy voice, "I'll leave, but you'll pay me for today's work." Director Miller stared at me in disbelief. "Do you have any idea what you're doing? You must be desperate for money." I smiled. "Yes, even extras get paid daily." "So Director Miller, how will you be paying?" I really did need the money. After all, the fortune I'd made when I was young and famous had all been lost during those 3 years. Massive contract termination fees cost me my properties and left me deep in debt for years. Mark had been the one covering the costs of my treatment. I couldn't be a burden to him any longer. As soon as I was out, I called Mark and told him I was sorry. He wasn't angry. Instead, he tried to comfort me. "How did you end up with such scum?" "Don't worry, man. I've got your back." My eyes stung, and I had to fight back tears. His unwavering support moved me to tears. Over the years, I had thought about ending my life more times than I could count, and his kindness had saved me every single time. A light rain began to fall. The rain soaked through my clothes, and a chill seeped deep into my bones. I shivered, wondering where to find shelter. Suddenly, an umbrella appeared over my head. I froze, and when I turned, I saw Olivia Chen's face. A flicker of confusion crossed my mind, but she just held the umbrella silently over me. "You'll catch a cold." I opened my mouth, wanting to ask when she'd gotten there and how long she'd been following me, but she cut me off before I could speak. "Want to try my cooking?" I paused. I truly never expected her to say something like that. Back when she was pursuing me, it was always tickets to art galleries, front row seats at the opera, invitations to exclusive salons. She had never been so normal. I looked down, the words of refusal on the tip of my tongue, but she spoke again before I could. "I'm a little hungry myself. You wouldn't mind if I borrowed your kitchen, would you?" I hesitated for a moment, then nodded. The moment we got back to my apartment, she headed straight for the kitchen. I leaned against the door frame, watching her deftly handle the ingredients. A strange sense of peace washed over me. When was it that I first started wanting to get married? It was probably about 2 years ago. I came home exhausted and starving after a long shoot and passed out on the couch. Chloe brought a bowl of simple noodle soup out from the kitchen and gently woke me. The soup wasn't anything special, but in that moment, It filled me with a profound hope for our life together. I thought marrying her would be a wonderful thing. Olivia quickly finished cooking and set the plates on the table. The aroma of the food drifted to my nose, and I realized I was actually hungry. She carefully placed a dish in front of me. "Try it, it's all your favorite food." In that moment, something in the softest part of my heart stirred, as if brushed by a feather. After all, I had almost forgotten what I even liked to eat. She watched me eagerly. "Well," I took a bite and nodded. "It's delicious." She beamed, suddenly becoming talkative. "I learned this from a master chef at L.A. Bernardine. I guess I have a knack for it. If you like it, I could cook for you every day." The affection in her words was unmistakable, but it made me feel increasingly uneasy. "I'm not ready for a relationship," I said, looking down. "I don't deserve you. I'm not who I used to be. I'm broke, a nobody, and I'm not well." She just gently set down her fork. "So what? I fell for you. Not for your awards or your fame, just for you. So none of that other stuff matters to me. And as for you not having a job, I happen to have one for you if you're interested." I thought about it for a moment. Then I accepted Olivia's offer. Her voice rose with excitement. "I helped make you a star once. I can do it again." I smiled. When I was young and just starting out in Hollywood, fame and fortune were all I cared about. I loved the feeling of the spotlight on me, the thrill of spending extravagantly, of having the world at my feet. But now, all I wanted was to pay off my debts. After Olivia left, I had my first good night's sleep in 3 years. Early the next morning, I was still asleep when a call from Mark woke me up. When I picked up, I could hear the tension in his voice. "Ethan, I'm on my way to get you now. Whatever you do, don't look at the news." Groggily with sleep, I couldn't help but open up Twitter. Alex Cole had posted a video. It showed me kicking him twice and him falling to the ground, looking utterly pathetic. A swarm of bots and paid commenters were driving the narrative. In broad daylight, this is outrageous. A washed-up actor still pulling this kind of diva behavior. I was there. I can confirm Ethan Reed was verbally abusive to the crew and Mr. Cole, and he was openly hitting on Miss Vance on set. So shameless. What a piece of trash. He needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Garbage like him isn't even worthy of being stepped on by our king Alex. Alex didn't add a caption. He just silently liked every single comment that vilified me. In an instant, the tide of public opinion turned, and everyone was piling on to attack me. People were even commenting on my own profile, telling me to go kill myself. Why not just die? My breathing became shallow and rapid. My mind went completely blank. The world started to spin around me. A suffocating, near-death feeling washed over me, crushing every last bit of my will to live. Why? Just when I thought things were starting to look up, did I have to be thrown down so hard? I let out a choked scream in my apartment as all the painful memories of the past came flooding back, one on top of the other. I clung to the last shred of my sanity and tried to reach for my medication. In my panic, I stumbled into a table and hit my head hard on the floor. In the haze, I could feel someone calling my name. Her voice was trembling. She must have been terrified. I tried to force my eyes open, but my eyelids felt like they were made of lead. When I woke up again, I was met with the sight of Olivia's anxious face. "Are you okay?" Mark leaned in too. "I told you not to look. Why did you look? If Olivia hadn't gotten there when she did, who knows what state you'd be in right now. You can't handle any more stress right now. From now on, you're staying where I can see you. You're not going anywhere." I closed my eyes, feeling utterly exhausted. While I was sleeping, Mark logged into my accounts and posted a clarification on my behalf. But many people didn't buy it and continued to attack me in the comments. So he posted all of my medical records from the past 3 years. This, however, prompted a response from Alex. "Who knows if those are photoshopped? So he has depression, so what?" I slept for a long, long time. Mark wouldn't let me use my phone, so I had no idea what was happening in the outside world. When I tried to ask about what happened, Mark just said it was all handled. I trusted him. Olivia came to cook for me every day. I was confused. She said she was in pre-production for a new film, so how did she have time to cook for me? But when I asked, she just said patiently, "I'll always have time for you." In truth, my episode this time wasn't as severe as before. The doctor said I was doing much better, but they were still worried. The days blurred together. I lost track of how long it had been until one day while I was out for a walk I saw Chloe. She was watching me from a distance, and it looked like she had been crying. It was strange. We had nothing to do with each other anymore. She started to approach me, but Mark intercepted her and sent her away. What are you doing here? Won't you be happy until you've driven him to his grave? He rushed over to me. Are you okay? Did that affect you? His worried expression made me laugh. I'm fine. The doctor said I can go home tomorrow. He was still worried. Maybe you should stay a few more days. I just feel. I cut him off. I'm really much better. Last time it was just so sudden. Don't worry, I'm not that fragile. I really couldn't bear to be a burden to Mark any longer. After I insisted several times, Mark finally gave me back my phone. He said, "You have to promise me no more than an hour of screen time a day." I agreed, and I braced myself for the hate I expected to see when I opened it.my social media. But instead, I was flooded with messages of warmth and support. Even the people who had been attacking me before were sending me private apologies. What had happened? I opened iMessage. There were over 99 new messages from Chloe. I know everything now. I'm so sorry. I had no idea that the role I was so proud of, you were the one who got it for me. And I still doubted you. When we were together, I was a nobody and you were already a huge star. People at parties would make crude jokes asking if I was only with you because I was good in bed. It made me so angry, but I was powerless, so I took it out on you. I met Alex on set. We came from similar backgrounds, and I felt a strange connection to him. I felt like I could relax and be myself around him, instead of always feeling inferior to you. Can we start over? I was wrong about everything. I swear I'll make it up to you. I've already filed for divorce. I felt a little dazed. For some reason, I suddenly remembered a time years ago when I was filming a scene on horseback, and I fell. I saw the horse's hoof rear up about to come down on top of me. Panicked, in that split second without a thought, Chloe threw herself over me, shielding me with her own body. The hoof came down on her leg, but she acted as if she didn't feel a thing, just anxiously asking me, "Are you okay? Did the fall hurt you? Are you injured?" In that moment, my hardened heart melted. After so long in the industry, it was rare to encounter genuine sincerity. From that day on, I decided I would give her everything, hold nothing back. Perhaps she really had loved me once. One year, I was on a film with an actor I had a rivalry with, and he kept trying to one-up me during our scenes. During a scene where I had to be in the water, he would intentionally flub his lines, forcing the director to call for take after take, leaving me freezing in the icy water for hours. Chloe was watching from the sidelines, and without saying a word, she walked up and pushed him into the water in front of the entire crew. Forgot your lines, have you? Maybe a little dip will jog your memory. The actor was furious and started spreading vicious rumors about me. I found her desperate to explain, but she just looked at me gently and said, "I believe you." But when did it all change? When did she stop believing in me? But Chloe's turnaround still shocked me. I asked Mark, and he told me the turning point was a post from Olivia on Twitter. I quickly clicked on it and saw that she had laid out the entire truth of what happened all those years ago. She said she had kept quiet for so long out of a promise to an old friend, but that it was clearly no longer necessary. That's when I remembered. I had asked her to keep it a secret back then to protect Chloe's pride, and she had. The most damning part was a series of photos she posted, proving that Alex had been sleeping with various powerful people in the industry the entire time he was with Chloe, and that these affairs had continued even after their marriage. The post went viral instantly. People started digging up even more dirt. Stories about Alex sleeping his way to the top, secretly meeting up with fans, and having late-night trysts with wealthy industry figures after his marriage all started to surface. A few days after the expose, the tabloids were reporting that Chloe and Alex had a massive fight and that Alex was refusing to grant her a divorce, but Chloe was determined to leave him. Left with no other choice, she posted screenshots of Alex's flirtatious iMessage conversations with other women, and the scandal reached its peak. "Alex Cole, I want a divorce." Chloe started messaging me constantly. She said, "I'm sorry," over and over as if trying to make up for all the years of pain. But what was the point? I didn't care anymore. She posted a long statement online retracting all the lies she had told about me during our public feud 3 years ago. But did a public clarification erase everything? The painful memories were still real, weren't they? On my 30th birthday, Mark and Olivia came over to my place early. The moment the lights went out, Olivia wheeled a birthday cake out in front of me. I stared at the flickering candles on the cake until she prompted me, "Make a wish." I closed my eyes and wished for all the best for my friends. After I blew out the candles, Olivia cut the cake. I took a bite. The sweet taste brought back memories of the past. I used to love throwing huge birthday parties at my mansion, inviting tons of people. I loved the chaos. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that all that noise is meaningless and that having a few good friends is more than enough. After I said a happy goodbye to them, I had just stepped back inside when I heard footsteps approaching my door again. I thought Mark must have forgotten something. I opened the door with a smile, but the smile froze on my face the moment I saw Chloe. She stood awkwardly in the doorway. She was holding a cake that had started to melt, but I could still make out the shape of two small figures on top. Every year we were together, she had made me a cake for my birthday. "It's your birthday today, happy birthday." I didn't take it from her. I just said politely, "Thank you." I turned to go back inside and close the door, but she put her hand out to stop it, and on her finger was the ring, the one I had hidden in the trophy 3 years ago. I was stunned. She held up her hand, showing me the ring. "I got your ring. Is it too late to say yes?" In that moment, a wave of bitterness washed over me. The me from 3 years ago would have been so happy to see this. But there were no dovers and no more what-ifs. "You should go. Don't come and find me again." Her voice broke into a sob. "Please don't do this to me." She fumbled in her pocket and pulled out her divorce papers. "I've divorced him. I know I was wrong. Please just give me one more chance. I can't live without you. Without you, I have nothing." She was sobbing now. "Let's get married. You wanted a family, a child. I can give you all of that now. We can rebook the hotel, buy a new dress. You won't have to worry about a thing. I'll plan it all. I just need you." But Chloe, we were never going to have that wedding. What was lost forever. I suddenly remembered something. When Chloe and I first started dating, I was very public about our relationship. Mark had been against it. "You need to be with someone on your level. She's a nobody. Believe me, the second she gets famous, she'll leave you." I had laughed at him then, called him a snob, and ignored his advice. But now I finally understood. It's a hard thing, waiting for someone to grow up. She knelt before me crying, clutching my hand helplessly, her shoulders shaking with sobs. I felt a sense of detachment. I remembered a kissing scene I filmed years ago. The female lead proposed to my character. I was just following the script, but in my heart I was imagining it was her. The scene was so natural that the director loved it, but she had been furious. I had to calm her down, telling her it was just for the movie. She didn't say anything, just pulled me aside and said childishly, "I don't care. You have to do the scene with me now, just like you did with her." She had knelt before me that day, just as she was doing now. The person was the same, but the feeling was gone. It's all in the past, so let's just wish each other well and never see each other again. In the end, I didn't take the lead role in Olivia's new project. She said that being a lead carried too much pressure and that I wasn't ready for it, not after everything I'd been through. I took a behind-the-scenes job at her production company instead. One day, a new intern started. She stood timidly in the doorway, staring at my face. I turned and met her gaze. She looked a little embarrassed. "Excuse me, you look a lot like that." "What's his name? That actor who used to be famous?" "Oh, Ethan Reed." "Yeah, that's him." I paused for a second, then smiled. "Yeah, I get that a lot." The intern's eyes lit up. "Right? My mom used to love his movies. She was a huge fan." I just smiled peacefully. It's nice to be remembered, but it's okay to be forgotten too. From across the room, a colleague called out, "Ethan, can you give me a hand with this?" I called back, "Coming," as the intern watched me with a surprised look on her face.